Well, thank you for that. I think the caterers deserve a round of applause for the meal, so let's give them a round of applause before they leave. Wow. We were just talking at our table about how large this event gets every year, and I don't know if it's because you're all coming to see what type of performance we can do. What can we do this year that we didn't do last year to make you just impressed as can be. This is a thank you to our sponsors again, and our theme for this year is a time to shine. And we must give credit to where credit is due. We got this from two young ladies you're going to meet here, both, they're actually on the video in a couple of minutes. They gave us the idea from their project. Many of you probably have seen these things over the last couple of years. A couple of years ago, the young high school kids, their project was to build a sound garden at McDonald Park, and that's there now. We also had the mural before that painted with this same program or project. And for those that haven't been up by the school, the Longhorn High School finally got Longhorn, thanks to this project. This year, the TMCN Leadership Program project is something very unique, and it ties to our Town Center project. And so, without further ado, I will ask Scott. Go ahead. We're here this afternoon at Town Center Lake to talk with our TMCN leadership group, Aaron Leslie, who I'll introduce a little later, Reese Estes, who I'll introduce a little later, and Betty Gale Wood-Rush and Jeremy Essery. Let me first let you know that the entire city is excited about this project. Yes. I mean, it is very innovative, and it's certainly going to make a certain impact right here where we're sitting out on this side of the Town Center Lake. Jeremy, tell us a little bit about what TMCN means.
Well, TMCN stands for Texas Midwest Community Network, and what it is it's a program that takes juniors in high school and over an 11-month period to get them to get involved with the community and to come up with an idea and brainstorm in order to do a legacy, a project inside the city somewhere that brings the community together and involves everyone, but also leaves a lasting impression. And I believe this project will definitely do that.
We'll definitely do that, very much so. The goal for the youth in this community is to what? Get involved?
Yeah, we're getting them involved with just people in the community, also with businesses in the community. They are working on formulating and constructing the project that they've come up with, and they will be collaborating with businesses and individuals around our community. After that, they will be doing fundraising to raise the money to be able to fund the project, to be able to pay for it. And then in the end, they're going to be competing for scholarships and monetary awards against other schools, teams from different communities.
Well, that is a fascinating project, and I love the idea that you're getting youth involved in the community. And also, to some extent, they learn a little bit more about how the city operates. And speaking as a professor at Howard Payne, the more students that actually discover how city government works, the more people understand instead of just complaining when they don't like something that's going on.
Yes, sir.
Well, okay, you guys, thank you. And we'll now hear from Aaron and Reese about the specifics of the project.
You bet.
Aaron Leslie and Reese Estes. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Which one wants to go first?
Hi, I'm Erin Leslie. I'm a junior at Early High School. I'm involved in National Honor Society and student government. I enjoy extracurricular dance and just really trying to stay involved in school.
Okay.
My name's Reese Estes. I'm also a junior at Early High School. I love to participate in theater. I'm in student council as well as National Honor Society, and we're just so thankful for this opportunity, Mayor.
Well, you seem like you're quite a bit busy, but certainly appreciate your hard work. And tell us a little bit about this project, this TMCN Leadership Group project.
When we first started brainstorming kind of what we wanted to do, we quickly came across the idea of incorporating something new into this town center. It started off kind of patchy in a Stonehenge type setting, and then we kind of modeled and made our project into something of a sundial. And so our sundial will definitely be unique with a tall gnomon and then graduating columns as the time markers.
TMCN just allows us to be able to communicate with other schools within Texas, and so that we can present our project and we can do something that lets kids get involved into the processes of how a project comes to life. And so it just gives us the opportunity to work with a lot of different people and be able to see a different side of economic management.
And we're sitting close to where this is going to be located.
Yes, sir.
For those that are watching the video, Town Center Lake is behind us, and Hart Part is over here to the right. Well, I understand that you brought a model of this project. Is that so?
Yes, we did. 1 second.
Wow, that is quite an impressive model. Tell us about it. What's all these mean?
So for starters, this gnomon in the middle it's a very large and a very well seen object that'll be in the middle to kind of make the shadow for the columns. And as you can see, the pillars around here are graduating from around 6 feet up to 12 feet at 12 noon, and then back down to 6 feet at 6 in the evening. They're something that you can mark as each hour goes by.
And then we have some directional letters so we have west, north, and east that allow you to be able to see the direction. And then we're also planning on doing a rock garden that just brings the community into it. That's something that Aaron and I really wanted to incorporate, especially since we're the first group back from COVID. And so this will just allow people to bring rocks and paint them and leave them and take one, so it's just a more personal experience. And then beneath it, we're gonna have a time capsule that we're gonna try to talk to the schools around here and just see if they wanna put something into it. And we'll open it on the city's 100th birthday, which will be December 7th, 2051. And so we're really excited for that. And then we're also gonna have these benches over here overlooking our sundial so that people can just enjoy and have a good time.
And to add on to the community part, we have this brick pathway kind of going around so people can get their names on a brick and really see the community side of this project and letting everyone be a part.
Fantastic. Does this project have a name?
It does. The name is Time to Shine. So obviously it's a pun, it's a play on words, but also it's just a way of expressing that this is Early's time to shine. I mean, the people in the video can see that Early's Town Center is coming together. This is a great step in innovation for Early, and this is a great opportunity for the people. And we just really wanted to channel that, and we just really wanted to contribute something that will just bring light to that.
Fantastic, fantastic project, and a fitting name for this project as well. We are certainly proud of you two. I speak for the City Council, I speak for the City Administration. I think I probably can speak for EHS too. That you two have taken on a major project, and this is going to be a great addition. We're right where we're sitting.
It's gonna be so exciting when we can see that it comes all together and something that people can just walk by and enjoy and kind of get a different view of what's going on, as the sundial is very historical and very celestial, and so it's something that definitely will be something that can be in the town center for a long time.
I think so. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor.
Ladies, stand up. Both of them, stand up. Both babies, stand up. We're here today, so time to shine. It's a pretty good project, and yeah. Okay, well, growth. Yes, we are. We are growing. And there are two reasons, obviously, for this. Growth creates momentum, and it creates more growth. And new businesses come, which brings more people, brings growth, adds revenue to the economy here locally. And when we have also the beginnings, I think as we move along through the years to come, you'll see it more and more. People leaving the metropolitan areas and moving further out. I don't envy their commute from here to Dallas-Fort Worth, but I figure that we're going to get a lot of people like that. And that brings property development, new increases in sales tax and hotel tax for those that are coming to visit or enjoy our facilities. Under property tax, we've worked to balance the property tax rate with the property tax revenue that's generated. We've always believed that, my council has always believed that we live within our means, so we don't venture out and do things on the IOUs. And if you look at the top of the screen, the property tax rate history for the last few years, 1819, we had 541 as property tax. This year, it's 0.362. We have the lowest property tax of any taxing entity in Brown County. And look at the other side of the coin, property tax revenue history. The property tax revenue has gone up every year. The blue marker under 2022-23 is projected, and that could easily go up even more. Either way, we are growing and we are thriving and prospering with the growth of the city. Sales tax. This is the one that's really interesting. The dark blue bars for the years 18-19 through the present were our budgeted sales tax revenue, what we expected to bring in. And you'll notice in 18-19, it was pretty well right on the mark. 19-20, sales tax revenue was more than what we budgeted. And if you look at over 21-22 and then 22-23, we are projecting almost twice what we budgeted when we put together our budget for sales tax revenue. What does that mean in the long run? Well, that means more money for the city to do projects, to pave streets, to open up areas, to help development of our city. At the same time, hotel occupancy tax has gone up quite a bit. We have, since COVID, we have really started having lots of activities. In fact, Denise was saying that she actually was saying, well, I can't keep up. This facility right here is being used almost every day now, which brings in all sorts of activities. A lot of these people are staying in a hotel. This week, I believe it's a fishing tournament out at the lake. It's a week-long activity. We have hotel occupancy every single day. And the money is going to promote tourism and other things, which means it's funding itself. Our program is funding itself. Hotel tax. And this particular slide is an overview of the benefits that the citizens of Early get from, of course, our city services. And they're all listed there. Now we're going to look at each one separately. The police, for example, shine through professionalism. Chief Mercer, who's been with us since 2008, has 6 officers, 1 investigator, 2 clerical staff. We are fully staffed, which is not many police forces anywhere in the country can say that. We have 100%. One of the most interesting statistics, and we get this once every year, is just how much they do. If you look at under the second bullet there, in 2022, there were 624 traffic stops, 1,300 calls by citizens were investigated, and this is early Texas now. Quite a bit. We have a very good enforcement police force. And we have a community outreach program as well with National Night Out. Some of you have participated in that, in the DREAM program. And the most important bullet, budget management. We're able to manage all this within our budget, within the amount of money. We also have a planned program for replacing equipment over time. So it's not one of those, oh gosh, my truck broke down and we have to find money right then and there to buy a piece of equipment. We have a planned maintenance type program and planned cycle to replace equipment that we may use. Fire department shines through service. Fire Chief Chad Hill has 5 full-time. Yes, you heard, 5 full-time. We have the beginnings of a full-time fire department with 15 part-time fire department employees and 12 volunteers. What we're telling you there is that over time we are moving from a volunteer fire department type structure to a full-time professional fire department. We also have a fire marshal who's very active in educating our students in middle school. And the next statistic, which doesn't tell the whole story, because again, Chief Hill gives us statistics like this every year. 700 calls, only 170 were fire. Most of our calls in a year are medical or to help with traffic accidents and things of this nature. Very active fire department. Very active fire department. Again, like the police department, we have a budgeted system where we are operating the budget and maintaining the equipment. We're also still qualifying for grants, and we have a new truck that's coming because of a grant that we have received to replace one of our older pieces of equipment. Always modernizing and keeping up. Parks Department. Park and Recreation Director David Guest, right up here at the front, has a department of, actually it sounds pretty small, but 5. But if you think about everything that they do and maintaining now 2 parks and about to get town center, marvelous crew doing quite a bit with a small number of people. David's been with us since 2016. We have hosted all sorts of tournaments. The newest one was a baseball tournament for 8 under at our parks, and saw 500 people every day while they were doing the tournament. That ties back to the hotel occupancy tax too. Most of them staying in our hotels in Early. Also, if many of you may have participated or seen, and certainly saw it on the news story, of Deborah Tyson Shields Memorial Pavilion. It was formally dedicated a couple of weeks ago at McDonald Park. A fabulous facility that was built with donations from her family, over $75,000 worth of property value there. And it's a wonderful facility that can be used by anyone at the park. And again, budget. Maintaining the budget, coming in with an in budget, and in a lot of cases, David and his people are doing it with in-house. And then Public Works Department, shining through dedication. Nathan Land is the director of the Public Works Department, which is water, sewer, and sanitation. And we have implemented several new programs. Some of you have used it, the See Quick Fix app, which reports need for a pickup brush or some type of other repair needing to be done. And we can't say enough about these guys. These are the ones that get out in the middle of the worst weather. We don't have the picture in this one anymore, but we had a picture last year, some of our people from this department down in a hole when the weather was about 15 degrees above zero, fixing a broken pipe. Now, I ask for volunteers. How many of you would want to do that when you'd rather stay home and stay in a warm room during inclement weather? In all cases, we're always mindful of the budget, and every one of these departments is very much driven by make sure we get it done and get it done right within cost. Convention and Visitors Bureau. Denise Hudson Ryan is director. She has done a fabulous job since she took over and started putting Early on the map. I mean, the visit early, visit often slogan is known all over the state. And quite a bit of activities, I've already said, in this event center almost day to day now. We've really picked up that speed. I know that because every Thursday when I go to City Hall to sign checks, it seems like I invariably have refund checks for rental of this facility. And sometimes it seems like it's more of those checks than anything else. Municipal Development District, shine through recruitment. Our assistant city administrator is also the director of the MDD, Larry McCon. We have done fabulous, and we're continuing to do so. The things that are coming, if we could tell you, well, of course, you know the old joke, if I told you the secret, then I'd have to kill you. We've got lots of things coming, guys. Lots of things. Just wait. But some of the things we have done are Starbucks, Cefco, Hobby Lobby, HTO, Petco, Got some other projects that are getting close to being announced. MDD was a fabulous entity to have created a few years ago because it does so much in recruiting and making Early a better place to live. And then, of course, the one where everybody's kind of asking about and wondering about, Town Center. I had forgotten until we saw it in print just when we started working on this, 2018. Seems like, in some sense, a long time ago. City Council, MDD Board, working together on this project. Oh, the things we're going to have out there. Again, I can't tell you some of that yet, or I'd have to kill you. But just wait, keep tuned, we're coming. There's some things already completed, Kelsey Way, and eventually we'll get the barriers down where you can get in there. Outdoor classroom is done, welcome signs. Batting cage is being worked on. We're moving dirt. That little tank that was out there in the pasture, it was what, 3 acres? It's going to become a lake of over 7 acres. Fishing lake. Oh, some of the things that are going to be in there, fabulous. We also have MDD representation at various conferences. You know, I don't know if you know it, but it seems like every group has a conference. You ever notice that? Any group you join, they have some type of conference? Well, there's a couple of conferences for development in different businesses in different country, towns, etc. And they have a conference every year, and we have representation there, and they put up a fabulous display about Early and get a lot of inquiries. And of course, every year we're getting known more and more. And some of those are coming. Some of them have come. Safeco, Hobby Lobby, as a result of our attending these conferences. Again, budget. Well, this afternoon we're here with Tony Aaron, our city administrator, and as you can tell, we're sitting here at the construction site of the Town Center Lake, and we've got some construction work going on behind us. And as we look towards Humphrey Pete's and the La Botana, we can see the arm of the lake in front of us. Tony, tell us how we got to this point.
Well, it's been a long road, Mayor. It's going really fast, but we've been working on it for quite a while. And, one of the first things we had to do once we got the property purchased and kind of had a direction was we had to build Kelsey Way and Buena Vista and the first parking lot that really kind of gave everybody an access into where we are now. And so building that road and that parking lot was kind of crucial in taking the next step, which had a lot to do with where we're sitting right now.
Now, what is going on right here?
Well, right now we've got Mobley Constructions here working on the Town Center Lake. The lake was originally about a 3-acre pond, and now we're turning it into a 7-acre lake. It's going to be around 15 feet deep. A lot of different amenities that's going to be on that. But turning the lake into the focal point of the Town Center project was pretty important, and so that's kind of the step that we're in right now.
Well, sitting here at this construction site where the lake is, tell us a little bit more about what the lake is going to be like when we get it completed. And I understand that's in August.
That's correct. The lake is 7 acres, 15 foot deep. It's going to have walkways around it. There's going to be a boardwalk on one side of it. There's going to be 2 different lighted fishing piers that are going to be on it. A lot of cool little amenities that'll be around it that just kind of brings people into the Town Center property and around the lake. And there's going to be some fish in it too.
And fish. Who's stocking the fish?
Well, so we partnered with Texas Parks and Wildlife. They've been helping us with their fisheries department out of Abilene. Been a great help with us, helping us with some of the design, some of the habitat that's going to be put in here. So we received a grant called Habitat Angler Access Program. And so with that, that's helping pay for some of those things like the dock, the fishing pier and all that. And then the fish that they're going to put in there, they're going to stock it with bass. Of course, they're going to stock it with several different strains of sunfish, red ears, bluegills, and then of course all the bait fish that go with that as well. And then you know, they're going to even stock it with trout in the wintertime, Mayor.
Trout in the winter. Well, we're going to have an opportunity to fish for a type of fish that you don't normally find in Central Texas.
That's correct. You know, they have a pretty good program. Trout are a cold water fish, but they have a pretty good program where they stock them in the wintertime, allow anglers to catch and keep trout, and then they take them home, harvest them, eat them. You know, if they're not caught when it starts getting warm in the summertime, the trout will die off. But it's going to be a pretty cool opportunity for people that love to fish.
Exciting time to be down here and come see what we're doing, and it's going to be great for our citizens to be able to come down and enjoy the park behind us and the lake to our left and fish and not have to go a long distance to do it.
Absolutely, and I don't know the closest place that you can trout fish to Early, but I think it's probably somewhere around Central Texas, some of those other ones that have been a part of this program for a while, Austin areas.
Or I was thinking Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado.
Oregon.
Yeah, you don't have to travel to Colorado to fish trout. You can do it right here in the middle of Early, Texas.
Looking over here, I see the beginnings of the batting cage. Tell us about that.
Well, so when we started this project, we did a citizen survey, and batting cage is one of the top of the list. So we've got that currently under construction. You can see the poles are upright. They've poured some of the footings for the pole. They'll be coming in here in the next week or so and start putting the electrical and the foundation there. So also by the end of summer, that should be opened and operational, and people can be enjoying that.
Now we can't see it from right here because of the construction, but there's an outdoor schoolhouse over there, isn't there?
That's correct. So we received a grant from the Lower Colorado River Authority, and that grant was to put in some interpretive signs, some additional walkway, and then an outdoor classroom. So Darren St. Alma, one of our local metal artists, designed and put that together, and it mimics an old schoolhouse.
An old schoolhouse is an outline, it's not a complete building.
That's correct. It's just an outline of a building. So the feeling of setting inside, but the tree canopies, the roof, and the grass around you is the carpet, if you would.
What about on the other side of the lake? Talk about the boardwalk and the retail.
So the boardwalk is currently in engineering using architectural firm Schwartz Hansen. They are designing that boardwalk. I think many people may have seen on our website the conceptual design of it. And so we expect to have the plans back for it sometimes around June. And we'll begin construction shortly after that. And just an outdoor seating area on the other side of the lake here where people can sit, have a glass of tea, have a hamburger or whatever else that may come along on that east side of that shoreline.
And then on the other side of the boardwalk we're going to have retail and housing, and so we're going to put some streets in running from this direction towards that direction.
Absolutely, and so that's another big step. So we currently, actually as of today as we spoke, we've submitted a grant with the Economic Development Administration of the federal government, and we're using that grant to build the next road that goes up, named after our great mayor, Mayor Mangrum. Now, I had to tell everybody that the mayor didn't know that was coming, but the council members wanted to honor him, as well as a couple of other people, Councilman Benny Alcorn and Miss Helen Tatum, who her and her husband had a long history of service to the community. But we are going to be building that road. Plans are in engineering right now. That'll be coming out in June, and we'll start construction shortly after that. That road will be the eastern bookend to the boardwalk, which is the western bookend of these retail and restaurant spaces that you were talking about, Mayor. And so those were very crucial steps to get us to the next point to where we can actually start selling some real estate.
And that brings us to that development of business and retail, restaurants, hotels, etc.
Absolutely, and we have people that have just been waiting for us to give them a date and time of when that road is going to be complete, when that boardwalk is going to be complete. We should start having some real estate sales discussions in the upcoming months with the council and the Economic Development Board on some projects that we're looking to take on.
Well, as you can tell, the future is bright for Early, and it's Early's time to shine.
Absolutely, Mayor, that's great.
Of course, don't have to tell you about this one. Inflation. Well, of course, as a history professor, I can tell you we've always had inflation, but the last couple of years have really been seeing some pretty good increases. And as a result, we have, that's the biggest challenge we have. If you go on to the next slide. We have had to address inflation maybe a little differently than somebody would have a few years ago. We use a lot more in-house labor. This cuts some of the cost of some of these projects. And sometimes, and as recent as last week in our city council meeting, we had to say no to one of the bids that just was too high for us to say, yes, go ahead and we'll contract with you on that. That means we need to reapproach the project sometimes to figure out ways we can cut costs. One way we have found is purchasing the materials for the construction project ourselves. Somehow that seems to cut the cost quite a bit from what the contractor that bids on it initially set as the total bill. And then, of course, as Tony mentioned in the video, we have reached out to many different grants, and we have received some of those already. We've got some others that are pending. All of those to help address the issue of inflation and get the projects done. This is an example of some of the projects we have moving together and moving forward. Canar and early trailer sales. And I believe there's a video.
There are more sales tax producing businesses within Early, Texas than ever before. And since Early is working to become a sales tax driven city, this is great news. Sales tax comes from a variety of different businesses like restaurants, retail shops, and specialty stores. But it also comes from industrial sales, manufacturers, equipment retailers, and more. It's these businesses that have seen substantial growth over the last few years in Early.
There was a lot of room to grow the business. We bought it in 2009, just steadily grew it over the years, added different lines and different services and parts lines.
Early Trailer Sales has been operating here since the early 2000s. As they've grown, they've expanded to a larger building not once, but twice.
We got to the point where we're needing a bigger facility for the office and the shop, which led us to the purchase of the Oak Street property across the road. That gave us the opportunity to move some inventory over there, allow the room for the new building to come in. That'll provide a bigger office area, a bigger parts warehouse, and a bigger shop. Allow us to have more employees, because with growth you need good help. So
growth has also been seen with Sweetwater Steel. They've been a major sales tax producing business for the city and haven't shown any signs of slowing down. Arriving in 1994, Sweetwater Steel hit the ground running, establishing themselves and serving several surrounding counties, which has led to their expansion as well. Most recently, they added 6,200 square feet to their warehouse and hired 4 new employees. All this to help keep up with a higher demand for their products and services. Alongside them, we see Winston Water Cooler, who is known for their professionalism and hard work. They report good sales numbers month after month and will soon be adding improvements to their business as well. These 3 businesses are just a few examples of Early's growth. We also have new businesses like Canar RV, who came to Early in 2017 to begin selling RVs and campers. Not only have they grown in those short 5 years, but they've really created an image of being people who genuinely care about their customers.
A lot of times people come in looking for a certain type of camper, and the camper they end up with is something completely different because we listened to what they were really asking for. And what they were asking for was this, even though they thought they wanted that.
We have 5 acres. We do need to add more gravel. We already know that, which is great. But we also, our service department is just busting at the seams that we already know that we're going to have to add on to that.
And lastly, we have businesses who have been here for decades, such as Pate's Hardware. which called Early home to one of its locations in 1997. Pates has established a relationship with many people all over Brown and surrounding counties and recently made several upgrades to their property, reinvesting into their business so that it may sustain for many more decades to come.
We're consistently working to diversify our sales tax base so that in times of slower economy, the City Council is not dependent on property tax alone. It's because of this increased sales base contributing more sales tax income into the city that the City Council can continue to reduce our property tax rate. We're very pleased with every business that we have in the City of Early, and we're looking forward to adding more in the near future.
Our businesses are growing, our economy is growing, we are growing. It's clear to see that it really is Early's time to shine.
Hopefully we've made a case for that. I do believe, and I think my council would agree, that Early's time to shine is now. Thank you for coming, and I believe we're dismissed.